Hey guys, thanks for checking out this next video. As I mentioned in my previous video, I'm gonna kick off the cab build for the mini snowcat. So that's where I'm gonna begin with this video. I have some 1/2-inch Baltic birch that I'm gonna use for the floor, the two sides, the front, and then I have some 3/8 thinner material for the back and the roof. So my goal for today is to at least get the floor sheet cut to size. That includes the cutout that will go around the engine bay, and get some blocking installed on the perimeter of that sheet, and then get it hopefully bolted down with some carriage bolts. So yeah, let's get going on that. Alright, so you'll have to mind the heater. It's minus 25 here right now, and even with the garage insulated, it just doesn't retain heat that great. Anyway, I cut this sheet. It's now 52 by 60, so that is basically the floor of the snowcat. And then what I did is I marked out the engine bay cutout, and then two other cutouts, one for the shock tower, and then this little square here, that's for the hydraulic reservoir. So what I'll do is I'm going to use a Forstner bit just to round off those corners, just to make it a little bit cleaner, and then I'll use probably just the jigsaw to cut out the smaller stuff. I might run these cuts through on the table saw just to keep them straight, but obviously that perpendicular cut will have to be with a skill saw or the jigsaw as well. So yeah, I'm gonna keep going here. All right, so the base is cut. It fits beautifully. I just had to cut the bolts for the shocks a little shorter. They were hanging out by 1 inch and a bit. But yeah, otherwise, like you can see, it's got good clearance around the shock tower and around the reservoir. It's accessible. It'll basically land right under the seat, so that'll make it easy to get to. And so now the plan is, before I go any further with bolting this down, I'm going to use these 1x1 fur strips, and I will glue, probably tack, just to hold them, and then screw them in here, so they'll be screwed up from underneath into here, and that'll just increase the gluing and surface area for drilling and reinforcing the sides. And basically I'll trim out all the way around the entire cab, including the front. I'll have to cut that one in the table saw. Basically the front nose kicks out at 10 degrees just to make it look a little ugly, but I chose a reasonably round number that I can work with, so 10 degrees for the front, and then the little hood's also gonna have a little 10-degree slope. And so yeah, I gotta cut that one strip just to match the front nose profile a little bit, but I'll get those glued and screwed, and then basically the last step will be to attach straight through this furring strip, through the plywood, through the 1-inch square tubing with some 1/4-inch carriage bolts, and just do that basically around the perimeter of the chassis. And that will be how it basically attaches the cab to the base. I was able to successfully cut the door out of the panel that will also be used for the side of the mini snowcat. So worked out really well. I used a spiral straight cutting bit, 1/4 inch, so there will be a 1/4 inch gap around the entire door. It all worked out really well except for one little boo-boo where as I was plunging it kind of started to chatter in there, but otherwise it worked very well and I'm very happy with how this worked. Basically means that there will be no waste basically from that door panel. That door panel will just get repurposed directly back into that opening. I will eventually cut out a window opening in that and put like a plexiglass window in there, but for now I'm going to lay out the next side and cut it out as well, and then the rest of everything that's going to be cut here can be done simply on the table saw. Depending on how things go, I might also use the router to cut these because it actually makes a really nice cut. So anyway, I'm going to keep going. Managed to get both of the side panels fully cut. They are pretty much done. Nothing else that I really need to do on them. Using the router to cut out the door panel from the sheet worked out really well. The second one I would say turned out flawless. Using the spiral bit works just beautifully through the material. And what I did do is I clamped both together, both of the side panels together, to cut out the front little hood piece there and then the slope that would make up the front windshield, just so that they're fairly consistent between both of them. But yeah, I'm very pleased with how this is working out. The next step will be to start getting the top, like the roof, the back, the front like windshield, little hood, whatnot, all those pieces cut out next, and start gluing and screwing this together. Yeah, it's really coming along. Things are really moving along here. I managed to get the side set in place, and I've been focusing on the front nose for right now. I'm getting the last center panel here installed. I've got to cut some blocking that will fit along that lower kind of seam there, but everything's going together really well. I'm very pleased with how square it's actually ending up, and I'm also finding that cutting the angles like of these panels here to get these angles here to fit, it's actually been going very smoothly. I thought it would be a little bit harder, but no, it's not. So like I said, I got to get some blocking. I cut this one here that fits up inside there, and I've got to cut another kind of special one for this center section. I might just do a flat piece and screw it in there. I don't know. We'll see. And then after that is that piece over there for the windshield. Well, I just stopped to take a little break here, but yeah, the front of the mini snowcat's really coming together now. Got the front windows cut out, nice big windows, that's gonna be great. Used the router to cut these, and then I just rounded over the outside edge. And for the actual window, all I'm gonna do is use a sheet of like Lexan plexiglass, and it's just gonna butt up on the inside, and I'll just I'll drill and screw through the wood, and then I'll end up just laying in a bead of silicone around the outside just to stop water from kind of dripping in through that crack. And that's going to be it. So on the inside, I yet have to screw in a support here to reinforce this seam. But yeah, it's all really coming together. It's looking fantastic, and it's amazing how rigid this whole front end is really becoming now that everything's getting screwed together. So one thing I haven't done yet is any of these front panels, they are just screwed in right now. So that would be along where they meet the side there, and any of the crossways, they're just screwed right now. And then once I get everything kind of dry fit, I will end up, I'm gonna take the whole thing kind of apart, piece by piece, and then I will glue it all together, a full glue up, screw it, and then it'll be pretty much ready to go. But yeah, a lot of this is just, dry fit right now to make sure it all works, but so far so good. Hey guys, well I've finished my work for this weekend. I've made a lot of progress. As you can see, the body for the snowcat has really taken shape. I'd like to thank my buddy Brian. He lent me his Porter cable router set, and that with the spiral cut bit made cutting out the doors and the front window panel really easy. So thanks to Brian. Overall, yeah, I'm really excited with how things are coming together here. As you can see, we more or less have the body in place. So I've just been dry fitting all the panels. All of the blocking, like the fur strips, I've glued them just to the side panels right now. And so basically anything that runs across the front of the snowcat is just held in with screws right now. But eventually when I go to do final assembly, I'm gonna pull all the panels and everything's gonna get glued and re-screwed in place. Yeah, like I said, everything's coming together really nicely. As you can see, the seats, they fit in there really well. The one seat that's a little higher in the back there, that's kind of where they are going to line up. So there's a nice amount of leg room. You can comfortably put your feet right at the front edge there, and there'll be a nice little dashboard that'll kind of go along the front for the controls. And then for the roof was made out of, I think it's 3/8 plywood actually. So I added one kind of bow in the middle there just to reinforce it. That's glued and screwed in place from the top. And then yeah, you can see how the engine's gonna fit in here. So what I'm gonna probably do is add like a shelf that will kind of sit across the top here, and then the back of the seats will basically butt into it. And there'll be a panel that'll come down the back of the snowcat to about there, and that'll create a couple little voids. So like on that side I'll have room for the fuel tank, that side I'll have room for the battery and maybe a toolbox or something, and then inside that will give me a bunch of storage, so you can throw like you know, bags and, you know, some blankets and other miscellaneous stuff, maybe a cooler with some snacks and drinks, whatever. But yeah, like I said, I'm very pleased with the progress I've made today. And I think so for the upcoming videos of the build, like of the cab and whatnot, it's a lot easier when you're doing some of the mechanical stuff, because you can kind of sectionalize those videos into little tasks or whatever and close it out. But the body is a pretty big project in itself, so I think for those videos I'm just gonna kind of film what I accomplish over like a weekend or a couple nights, and then I'll edit that and post it. But any other smaller kind of mechanical tasks, I'll still make shorter videos to try and capture that, although there's probably not a lot of those left. But anyway, yeah, glad you're enjoying the videos, and yeah, looking forward to getting this thing going. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye for now.